Hello. Come on in. Come on in. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Come on in, guys. Come on in. Come on in. Come on in. Come on in. No worries, dailies. I was just giving you the book link to put into the chat. I know you already have the book, but I was just saying for the people listening so they can grab a copy. Welcome everybody. Come on in. Have a seat. Get comfortable. Get comfortable. We're going to talk about potential tonight. We're going to talk about potential. Come on in. Come on in. Listen, we're going to talk about potential. Shall we? Come on in, loves. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Come on in. Come on in. We're going to have some fun tonight. We're going to talk about some things. Yes, yes, yes. Come on in. Don't forget to share where you are from. Be sure to also not forget to subscribe to the channel. And don't forget to hit the notification bell so you know when I go live. I am trying to be a little more persistent on, letting you guys know when that will be. So it's not always a surprise, but every now and then when I moved, I just moved. I'll be on regardless. But go ahead and subscribe to the channel. Welcome everybody. Come on in. Come on in. Get comfortable. I'm going to let you guys show up. And like I said, get comfortable. You may want to grab a notebook, a pen, a pad, something so that you can take some notes. Again, I always tell you guys, make sure to watch this again in your private time, because when we're live, I'm maybe talking to people or I'm like going off on a tangent sometimes. But if you have the time to re-watch this, you can pause it where you need to pause it, fast forward when I'm doing a little bit of talking, and then that way you can kind of follow on to what's being said and all of those things. So yeah, so we're gonna give some people a chance to get on, and just realize that, hey, it's Friday. Are we glad it's Friday? Thank God, right? It is Friday. And also, let's not forget that with it being Friday, there's some things we gotta go back to, some things we got to think about, right? So we got to think about some things. And of course, we want to think about love affairs and our relationships, because of course, that is the main thing that we seem to think about in our private time. So come on in, get comfortable. Listen, I haven't started around this conversation yet, so come on, get comfortable, get relaxed, get your notebook, because I'm going to go in. We're going to talk about relationships. Okay, I know you guys like that topic, so we're going to talk about it tonight. We're going to talk about relationships, and we're going to talk about potential. So one of the things about love is oftentimes we get in the relationships and we have this hope, this wish, this desire that we want while we're in them, right? We also have a feeling that we know, oh my goodness, I know my lover is going to do this because we've already talked about it. Or I know my lover is going to do that because he comes from that. He comes from that type of family. Or I know for a fact that my man or my woman's going to be this because look at her mama, look at the daddy. We have a lot of different things that we base how we're going to end up in a love affair based upon past relationships, based upon relationships that we've been involved in, and then also we base it upon where they come from. And then we also sometimes do a little investigations. We try to see, well, wait a minute. What did the ex try to tell me when I was with him? And she was trying to come over here and give me all the skinny on what I'm dealing with and what I'm going to have to deal with and all this and that. And she was completely off. That's not who he is. So again, we have different variations of potential. So let's talk about potential. Please come on in, get comfortable. Like I said, don't forget to subscribe to my channel. It's Carla Nicole channel. I'm a coach. I've been doing this for years. This is nothing new. And so come on in. I'm going to give you guys something to think about. And every time I go live, I make sure to give you something you can use tonight. So if you are here, you are not here by accident. Trust me. If you're here, it is going to be beneficial for you. So stick with me. Pay attention to what I'm gifting you and guiding you, because again, you'll be able to use it tonight, not later on, not years from now, tonight. You'll be able to get off this live and be like, okay, I got some skinny now, so I know what I can do and what I got to go through. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel. Don't forget to hit the notification bell so you know when I go live. And please, by all means, please tell me where you're from. Let me know if you got any questions, because I'm very interactive. So if you have something you want to know, if you're questioning something, if you're curious about something, do not hesitate to ask me, because let me tell you this, if I don't respond right now, don't think for a half a second you're forgotten. I do go back to my comments later, and I may even have a whole nother episode just on your question alone. So you're not forgotten. Okay. So come on in. Let's get comfortable. We're going to talk about some things. Potential. Oh my God. Listen, now, with me, I'm very candid and upfront. I don't bite my tongue and I keep it a buck. So I have been a victim of my own potential so-called thinking. When I was young, I had all kinds of things that I would I would say this. I would say that someone had a good potential because of X, Y, and Z factors, right? We always have, well, is he working? How long has he worked? What kind of job does he have? Where's his family from? And all these things. And let me tell you, yes, what's the family type? Yes, that all matters. Absolutely. However, that is not a guarantee. So get ready, because I'm about to go in tonight. Get ready. Listen, it is not a guarantee. Someone that you start with is not usually the person you end with. And what I mean by that is, I'm not even talking about them, I'm talking about you. See, we oftentimes look at our lovers like, oh my God, he's going to be this and I'm going to have that, and oh, we're going to build this. And oftentimes we are looking at our lover based upon who we are internally. Our lover is our mirror. Write that down. Please write this down. Our lover is our mirror. So listen to what I'm telling you. Oftentimes we get all caught up in what someone's going to become, not relaxing on the fact that yes, they are going to become something. But wait, what about you? See, we get so caught up and swooped up in a man or in a woman, if you're a man or a woman, and you're all into her because you just know she's going to have this and she's going to be that and he's going to be this. And oftentimes we spend so much time on that person's potential, we lose fact of, am I going to grow within the confines of that potential, or am I going to lose them because I'm losing my gusto to want to grow to match them if they do get to that potential? We put a lot of pressure on another lover, and damn it if we don't mess up with thinking about, shoot, I didn't even think about me. I was just thinking about what I was going to get. Yes, it's a selfish kind of thinking. But we're human, so we're all going to have our flaws. Yes, we do have our flaws. We do have our thinking about what we want to do and who we want to do it with. However, I just want you to pump the brakes. This is a no judgment zone, so I don't spend my time beating you guys up for having this thinking. I'm just reminding you that oftentimes we get caught up and swooped up in things based upon what someone else is doing, not focusing on the fact that the person we choose is normally our mirror at the time we get with them. Now, here's what's deep. Write this down. When we get in a relationship, we see the lover that we're involved with, and it could have been when we were young, it could be when we were a little older. We usually have, when we have a little more life behind us, we have a little better scope of thought. However, when we're young, we're thinking about, oh, what he's going to become based upon where he comes from, based upon his family history, based upon his brothers and sisters, and oh, his friends have the friend group, they come from something, and oh, they have this and that. That doesn't necessarily mean anything, because what we have to make sure we don't lose sight of is what are we to ourselves first. So we have to look deep dive inside of self. Okay, why I'm saying this is so important is because no matter what man or woman or lover you're with, you, whether you're together or not, are going with you in the midst of this love affair. It's going to happen, regardless if it works or not. You are going with you. So now that I got that off my chest, I want you to think about something. If you think about it, we play various different roles while we're in a love affair. Depending upon the lover we're with, we have different roles we play. So in some love affairs, we're more like the planner. We're doing all these things. We're sorting out things and focuses and things like that. We might be more emotionally driven. So we're trying to make sure we're emotionally making sure everything is cool and calm. And we're kind of checking the atmospheric emotional feeling in the relationship. Then we have the decision maker. Okay, ladies, you might want to sit back and buckle up. Get your seatbelt on, because here we go. Listen, ladies, a lot of us ladies don't realize it because this is a subconscious thought, but let me put you up on game about something. You know how when you're single and you're by yourself and you have all this stuff you have to do and you have all these decisions you have to make? Oftentimes we want a man because we don't want to do it no more. We're tired of making decisions. We want a man to come in here and make the house decisions, the car decisions, the financial decisions. We want a man to come in here and help get this load off of our heart and mind about decision making, right? So a lot of times we as women don't realize our pursuit of relationship has very little to do with really wanting to relate with a man, but more to do with, I just want somebody to help me with these decisions I got to make. I am so tired of having to do all this work. Oh, baby girl, listen. Just because you have a man, this is for my ladies. Now, gents, you can sit back and relax and get you your little drink or whatever, because this is for the ladies right here. Listen, you cannot relax on working out your mental muscle, which is your brain, on making decisions just because you have a man. That's not wise. It's not. And when we talk about potential, let me put you up on game with something, because I know us women, we like the handsome, we like the smart, we like the driven men, we like the men that have money, we like the men that have some type of class and they got something going for them. Well, let me tell you something. Get you one. You think you don't have to make decisions after you get them? Honey, listen. Let me put you up on game now. I'm telling you, I told y'all to buckle up, ladies, now, because I'm not playing. When you get those fine, smart, intelligent, visionary men that are high value, or whatever the social media run about these men are, when you get those very affluent men, baby girl, you can't go in a relationship with a man like that and have no decision-making skills. You still have to exercise the muscle of the mind. You still got to be able to make decisions. You can't be relaxed on making decisions. So whichever man you're with, you are still going to have to be good at making decisions, especially quick ones or life-threatening. It's still important to be sharp on that. Just wanted to give you a heads up. So yeah, you might want to clip that and make sure you share that with your girls, because at the end of the day, you can't just relax because you got a man now and, oh, good, I don't have to do any thinking. No, you still got to think. Matter of fact, you got to be better at thinking and better at strategizing and better at your prayers and meditation and all of that. You're going to have to do some work still. Just because you get a man does not mean you get to relax your mind, honey. They have lied to you. Like I said, tonight you'll be able to take that home and cash that for sure. Okay? Okay, gents, you can come on back in. So anyway, now, you might also want to avoid responsibility This even involves men, because men, I know sometimes you want a lady, so you ain't got to clean no more. I ain't got to clean. I ain't got to cook. I don't have to focus on folding up my stuff and I can just throw my stuff in the drawers. No, that's not true. Just because you have a woman in your life doesn't mean you get to relax and not have to cook no more, don't have to keep the place clean, don't have, no, that's not how this works. We are so captivated by potential that we're losing sight on what is real versus what we want it to be. So let me sit you guys down and give you the real truth. Listen, it's not about that. We got to get away from thinking that everything's going to go abyss and go away because it's you and me now. That's not how this works, babe. It's about really understanding, why are we drawn to potential? Why are we making a decision for someone we want to share our time? Because I can't say our life, because sometimes it doesn't last that long. It doesn't last as long as we're on the planet. Sometimes it's just our time together. When we want to invest our time, why is it we seem to think that potential's enough? It's not. Potential is something to be, I mean, it has some weight, but that's not the only thing. We have to pay more attention to patterns. Write this down. We have to pay attention to patterns. Patterns are so important. Why we draw to potential? Because oftentimes we draw to potential because we have been taught this way of thinking. If you can recall, before we even really went into the dating scene, and young women, I can speak from a woman perspective and then a man's perspective. Usually women have more relationship history than men do. And let me explain. Don't get upset or butthurt, men. Give me a minute. Let me explain why I say that. Because we're taught early on to be chosen. We are already, by the time we are in high school and already going to junior prom, we are already in the mindset of getting a boyfriend by 16. Usually by 15, we already have one already prepped up. By 16, the girls pretty much are in a relationship pretty much. And so we usually have a little bit longer of a run of understanding in relationships more than men. Not to say that's a right or wrong. I'm just saying in general. So a lot of times we draw to potential because it's been taught. It's been passed down for generations to generations. See, before we got so cooped up in trying to have marriage be in a free way, before, it used to be families would choose who they want procreation with. So when it was familial tied, they would make the decision, and basically you would just marry who they tell you you would marry, based upon money, prestige, class, and so on and so forth. So this has been a clear understanding from years before we got here, that this is the mode of which we use in order to get into love affairs and relationships. And so this is why most of the time we're drawn to a certain potential, not necessarily because we're really into that potential. It's just we've been taught to look for that potential. This is why so many people in the social media world right now is talking about how much money a man is making. What does that mean? It's irrelevant. There's a lot of men that are making a lot of money that are terrible relationships. They're terrible relationship drivers. They're terrible fathers. They're not good men. They're not good women. And they have all the money in the world and they're miserable people. And then there's people that make a medium or lower amount of income and beautiful, harmonious people. We have to stop basing everything on what we think is a potential and get back to finding out, well, what are the patterns that these people are showing? While we're talking about patterns, I'm not talking about dating. Because a lot of times we're spending a lot of time talking about dating. Well, I've dated him and I dated him. And, you're putting him in an interview process. That's not real relationships. Anybody can take you out to eat. Anybody can take you on a date. Anybody can take you here and there and behave properly. That's not a preview as to what that person is like. That is just someone that's saying if we have a rapport. But again, that's where we usually base our interest in the potential of the quote unquote date. And again, it's not the greatest way to determine if someone is really someone for you per se. So again, we're going about this in a different kind of way. So I'm creating a renewed thinking because I want people to build their awareness. When you come over here with me, I'm going to help you build awareness. Not just sit here and listen to me, but build awareness. Change your thinking, change your perspective. Think about something to a deeper depth and a higher perspective so that you don't get so wrapped around what is common out here, what is told you should do. Look and see about you. And first and foremost, your first relationship is the one with yourself. So if you find yourself constantly in pattern of choosing a certain type of person, it doesn't always mean that that's a bad thing. It could mean that that person mirrors, listen to me, that person mirrors what you are inside of your soul. This is how we study our soul. We learn based upon our chosen lovers we choose. Okay, I'm going to let that simmer in the mind for a minute because I know it's hard to hear that, but it's true. They're your mirror. So when you see that you continue to find lovers that are constantly wanting your attention, or they're always depressed, or they're always this, or always that, we love to use the word always, they're always this, or they're always that, stop being so judgmental and start looking within you. Then ask yourself something intricate. What inside me is okay with this? Or why am I trying to make nice with something that really, truly bothers me? One thing that I've learned from doing coaching, I always say it's the conversations that a client will have with me privately that they may not tell anyone. And so in those quiet conversations, I'll just use a recent one, and I won't say who it was, but I've had a client in the past where I just asked him, well, how is your relationship? And, this and that. And the first thing he starts telling me, well, she's got this going on. She's got that. She's this, she's that. And I'm like, oh, really? So the first thing that you gave me or gifted me in the window, you let me in to peek in the window of your love affair, was your complaint about your lover? That's the first thing that comes out of your mouth is, well, she's this, she's that, she's not this, she doesn't do this. It's like, oh my, ooh, okay. Well, let me ask you something. I said, well, I understand that there's a lot of frustration, but what's your child's feeling on this lover of yours? Well, he just, my child just doesn't like her. He just, he bickers and complains about her. Really? Okay. So the child, see, and this is why we miss things, because we just want to be in a relationship. We just want to hurry up and make things make sense. Because let me be honest and upfront, a lot of times we will get sucked in to a relationship because we want our sex life on lock. I'm going to say that again. Now, you guys better give me some kudos for this. I keep it real. Now, I told you I don't butter stuff up. We pick certain people based upon our wanting to have our sex life on lock. We want to make sure that's cool. So we'll accept other stuff that clearly is not beneficial because we want to make sure we have someone to make love to. I'm just saying. We're all guilty of it. Me included. That's why I can speak to it. Oh, I just want to get this. I just want to have this up and understanding that I have my intimacy and I have it good and we get it right and we do it well. So I want to make sure that this is good. Okay, but you're not looking at everything else. I get that, but you're locking down someone and you're not making sure that the patterns that they're revealing to you in the small little peaks of other things outside of that bedroom that you're having a good time in, you're not paying attention to. Wait a minute. this person does annoy me. This person does this wrong. Oh my God, it's like this. And I get this face. And I'm like, well, wait a minute. Wait a minute. So I asked you about your relationship, and the first thing I get is that grimace that grimace look on your face. So I'm trying to figure out, why are you in this relationship then, if you're having all of that going on? That doesn't make any sense. So I'm sharing that with you to help you to see why we end up with the same types of people. Because they're our mirror, and we keep making nice with it based upon our need to make sure our intimate life is on lock. And we're making poor decisions based upon that. We are making poor decisions based upon that, because yes, intimacy is great. However, you have to learn in this lifetime to be able to determine who gets that side of you should only have a sacred type of thing going for themselves to where they can get that access to you. We are oftentimes too free-spirited with that side of self, and then wonder why everything's a shambles. Well, because if we look at it, we're not paying attention to the fact that we're free-spirited, yes, but we're not being mindful that we need to be a little more particular. You can't just let just anybody in that space with you. And then if you do let them in, you can't let them get comfortable. And then it just makes for things to get a little bit encrypted. And now you don't know what's going on. And then you're frustrated because you are making all kinds of arrangements, and you're trying to make nice with something that you know good and god darn well it is not for you. But because you want that intimacy on lock, you decide, well, I can tolerate it this much, but like, why are you juggling in your mind all of this and you're not even invested that long? That doesn't make any sense to me. So, because of course I'm on the outside, I'm just trying to help a brother out. You know what I'm saying? So I'm talking to him like, look, what is it inside of you? I'm not even criticizing the woman that you chose, because she is who she is. But my question is, when I asked you, your first facial expression was grim. Your first expression of how you feel in the relationship is grim. You're frustrated by it. That tells me that your mirror is reflecting back to you that it's not a match. But you're going to deny it because you want to make sure that sex is on lock. Really? But see, we have a tendency as human beings, we have a tendency to do this. We continue to make nice with stuff that's not good for us because we want that relationship so bad that we lose sight on the relationship type and quality isn't where it needs to be. So let's pause on that. How can we really look at something from a real true eye if we're not really looking inside of what keeps showing up? We oftentimes will be so headstrong. Oh my God, I get this one and this one and this one. All my exes, they all did this. It's like, but girlfriend, you keep connecting to those men. They're your mirror. So what inside of you have you not faced yet? Because every time in life we keep facing the same result, it usually is because it's something we're trying to avoid and just get away from, or we're trying to make nice with it, and it's not what you should be doing. So please think about that. I'm just trying to help you guys out. Now, here's what's true. A lot of times there is what I tell you that I work with my clients all the time is it is very important that we build up our awareness. So, I talk about soul studying, and this is why. Because our attractions, and listen, I am no different than you. I am very attracted to handsome men, and it'll never go away. I will die that way. I already warned my daughter, she's 27, and I told her, in the nursing home, if I end up there, I'm going to be very flirtatious, and you're going to get a lot of calls because I'm going to be trying to get into this one and talk to that one. She's like, Mother, I know. I know. Just stop. I'm like, no, I can't help it. I love handsome men. I love them. I can't help it. So, with that said, I have to help you guys to understand I am no different than you. This is what we have to understand about who we are. Listen, I know that that is who I am. My dad told me when I was young, your boy crazy, and it ain't changed. I'm still the same way. It just matured to men. Men just love them, just love them. So here's the truth. We have to learn to build our awareness. We have to learn to understand that inside of ourselves, we have certain things that we tend to draw to. Now, as far as I can remember, even when I was young, the most likeliness of me being attracted to a man is his mind. Yes, hands attracts me, absolutely. But once he starts talking and I'm starting to hear the mental stimulation, I'm a little sapiosexual, if that's what you want to call me. But he starts talking and he makes sense and he's got a vision and he's got sexiness to him. I'm I'm all in. I can you got my full attention, right? So women, we need to look at what draws us, what attracts us. We don't even know. Half the time we're just like, "Oh, he was nice to me, so I let him take me out and this and that." Well, I don't really know if I'm attracted to him. I just went cuz he offered to take me out. It's like, "Well, are you sure that this is someone you would?" Well, I don't know. Well, how do you not know? You got to study. You got to study what moves you inside your soul and spirit. We have to know as women what draws us to a man, what draws us there, what makes us want to be like, oh, yes, come on, pick me up. Absolutely. Versus, well, he asked me, so I went. That is a totally different energy. And as you see in that example that I just showed you, we have a tendency to just matter of fact some of these relationships. And then when we get in them, we're hoping and wishing for this man to elevate to a new version of himself so we can become more attracted. And it never happens. So now we're disappointed. But you knew that wasn't someone that moved you. You just went because he was into you. See, we have to stop and start being honest with ourselves. What is it that you want, ladies? What is it that you want, men? Until you know what you want, you're going to keep going out here and having these flops, having these exes that just keep looking alike. They're different men, same attitude, same flair. Because you know why? You ready? Buckle up again, ladies. We love familiarity. When a man looks different, it's awkward to us. We don't know how to feel about it. If a man is different, we don't know. I don't know anything about that. It's foreign to us. Well, just because it's foreign doesn't mean it's bad. Sometimes we have to get a little curious and do a little studying about it. Sometimes if we're well treated and we have never had that, we don't know what that is. So we'll pull back. Well, I've never had a man treat me well, so I don't know what that is. It's just weird to me. That doesn't make sense. Then get to know that. Learn about that. Why are you not studying what is well treatment? Look into it, study it, learn it. Because the well treatment isn't about what he gives you, it's how you do you at night. You say a lot of nasty stuff to yourself internally, and you wonder why a man says something to you nasty, and it doesn't even make you flinch. You're like, yeah, whatever, I'm used to it. Because you do it to you. Potential has to change based upon you looking at things differently. We have to build awareness. We have to open our eyes up. We have to be more, we have to be a little more honest with ourselves. So when you really want something that is going to have something that you've never had before, you have to come to learn, well, what are those attributes? Okay, you guys ready? You want to know what that means? What does well treatment look like? Go ahead, tell me, fill me in. Anybody, I want somebody to tell me what well treatment looks like. Give me an idea. What do you think well treatment looks like? By the actions of someone else. How do you feel well treated? What is it? What moves you? What makes somebody feel, oh my God, that is amazing? I have never had somebody feel so well with me. I have never had someone treat me so good. You have to ask yourself, what is it that makes you feel well treated? I'll give you one. When someone pays attention to you and your needs without you even asking, they're studying you. And it's not about you per se, it's because they're studying themselves. Because it takes, I always tell you, it takes insight to gain foresight. So I have to look inside me to learn how to be forthcoming with someone else, right? So when we're in a relationship, if we're not investigating ourself and what our soul really needs, then we have no clue on what someone else's soul needs. It's not because we're oblivious. It's because we don't study our own self. We don't study our own soul to know what it is. So again, we have to be patient with self, but we also have to start taking time with self and start writing down certain things. You know what? I do have a time when I need to think about, how am I treating myself? And I'm not talking about what I'm buying myself, or I'm not talking about going out and grounding and exercising. I'm not talking about none of that. How am I treating me for real? Am I really treating myself well? Seriously? Or in my silent thoughts, am I still beating myself up about how I was misunderstood, how I was a little nasty to this and going back? Because a lot of times we become very judgy to other people because we're judgy to ourselves. And then we wonder why, when we're in a relationship, the mate or the lover we're in the relationship with, all he complain about everything we don't do. Why? Because we do it to ourselves. I'm trying to give you guys something so you can really pay attention. We have a tendency to get locked up in relationships and we don't realize how we get there. We get there because we're not being honest with self. We get there because we have a tendency to get very nasty with ourselves and we have zero patience for ourselves. And this is why, my love, we keep ending up in these relationships. Potential is what we draw to, but it isn't what sustains us long-term in relationships. And this is why it's important and vital that we pay attention that, oh, if I build my awareness and get away from only being drawn by what he has, where he works, what she's got, who's her best friend, I know this, I know that, get away from that and pay attention, be more mindful of what they do in pattern. So again, we have to go away from getting so caught up on, ooh, this person always does this or always does that. It's not about the always. Get away from that. Start thinking about some things that's beyond that. Excuse me, because a lot of times we get so caught up in, well, I want a lover to do this and I want a lover to do that. I get that. But first we have to look at, what are we accepting about what we're doing to ourselves? Can we be honest for a minute? What are we accepting of the nonsense we do to ourselves? Because again, we have all these expectations for somebody else to take care of us, somebody else to do for us, somebody else to do this and that. And we never sit down and take on responsibility for what we're doing and not doing for ourselves. And then we wonder why. Well, I don't understand why, I can't never get what I want. Well, think about it. Just be honest with yourself. We have to be honest with who we are, okay? So now, I wrote something down here. I wanted to help you guys also think about something. One of the things that I brought up earlier is that in love affairs, especially for us women, we have a tendency to just not want to make decisions. And I think that when we lose the exercising of the mind and we start to get laxed or lazy in using it and making decisions and building our choice paradigms and learning some things and really advancing what we see, we have a tendency to get very lazy. And then we get only excited about pleasantries in love affairs. Oh boy, here we go. I told y'all to buckle up earlier, but maybe I need you to buckle up again because this is another one. We get caught up in pleasantries and love affairs. Lord have mercy. And what we do, we only want to enjoy the joy of the relationship. But we have to remember and recall that in love affairs and relationships, there will be a moment in time when it's monotonous. Monotony is not something we talk about. We talk all the time about monogamy, but we don't talk about monotony. And monotony is something that is completely different, but it's definitely going to be in the thick of your love affair. Because when you get off work, or when he gets off work, or when you're doing this and you got kids and you got that obligatory things happening in your love affair, monotony is, for without a shadow of a doubt, is going to hit your home, your address, where you're at. It's going to be there. And once it gets there, you're going to be like, oh God, we don't do what we used to do. I remember we were doing this and we were doing that, and I wish I had, and oh my goodness, and Sarah got, and this, and yes, that's true. But again, remember earlier I said we have a tendency to get so caught up in wanting the throes and the pleasantries of love, but we oftentimes never sit down and think about, well, when it gets monotonous, will I still want to be there? Will I still enjoy it? Will I still, truly want to be there still? Or is it going to be, oh God, oh, this is the worst? Well, every live I go, I can't use, I can never go live and never bring this word up. But if you are not in your purpose, you are going to find yourself even worse during times of monotony. Because you're going to get bored. Do you know what boredom does? Boredom helps us to get more, I should say, we get more excited about alcohol. We get more excited about shopping. We get more excited about date night. We get more excited about vacations. We get so excited about all these things that is just temporary fixes. It's a dopamine fix. We get so excited about that. But it's in the time of monotony that those things we have to keep doing to feel what? High and excited in the relationship. But that's not long lasting, because as we age, as we get older, as we have a long time of love affair, as we get into the routine of life, over time, all of that excitement and oh my goodness, and lust and sex and all that, it's going to start to taper off. Now, what do you have? We have to think about, me, I'm going to give it to you raw. We have to think about this stuff, because what we're not thinking in the beginning when we're trying to gauge somebody's potential, and well, he is handsome. Well, I don't know. Is he handsome enough, or whatever we're talking about? What kind of money he's got? And oh, he's driving this car. All that stuff means nothing when you're talking about long term. So when you're in a long-term love affair and you're getting into the throes of it and the monotony hits, you start to realize, do I even like this person? Can I really have an honest time with this person? Can we lose time together? Can we connect for real? Or is it constantly, oh, he aggravates me, or we don't see eye to eye, he never understands what I'm saying, or we just argue, or we this, or we that? Then why, when you were in the beginning, accepting of that? Because monotony is going to show up at your address. No questions asked. It's coming. So if you, in the beginning, like I told you, when I talked to my one client and he started having that facial expression and started giving me the list of things he didn't like about her, I'm like, when you have that going on, you have to look at that and be like, but you're not even in monotony yet. You're in the beginning stage of where you're with this person. You aren't even in the thick of the love affair yet, and you're already giving me a whole list of things you don't like, including her pet. So I'm confused. I'm just confused. But we are so relationship driven that we sit back and we just try to gauge, well, am I gonna get sex? Am I gonna get sex? Oh my God, I have to have sex. Am I gonna have sex? Oh, and you get it all right. But then we forget the laundry list of other stuff you get that you don't like about this person. Because once he got done telling me, I was tired of her. I'm like, well, why are you there? Well, it's beyond me. But anyway, he is just an example of who I'm saying as an example for you to know we all have done it. There would be prime example. I'll even use me. I have been in a relationship with a guy that I didn't have absolutely nothing in common with. That sex was mind blowing, but I didn't have anything in common with him. Nothing. Absolutely nothing. I'm talking about in the throes of stuff that I had absolutely no. I mean, idealistically, we didn't even have the same similar thinking. And I'm staying there because I'm like, the sex is great. Okay, but why are you trying to bump this dude up to a tier 1? You know good and god darn well this man is not it for you. But you're going to bump him up because of the great sex? That's not going to work. Now, of course, it didn't. But I'm saying as an example, I'm thinking, well, girl, listen. I'm telling all my friends and oh, yeah, and this and that. And didn't have nothing in common. Zero in common with this person. Except that. So we got to get beyond that and get off of the dopamine fix that we have to have. I got to have it. I got to know I got that. And like I told you ladies, I know what y'all's real motivation is. You are tired of having to do that work. You don't want to have to check your air pressure in your car tires. That's not something you want to do. You don't want to have to screw that banister into the wall. You don't want to do those little things that men come in and fix for you. You just don't want to do it. I get it. And men, you're no different. You don't want to have to cook that meal every night. You don't. You just don't want to have to do all that. I like to just relax, come in from work, relax, and have my meals already meal prepped. My woman knows how to. Okay, but I'm just telling you that that's all well and fine, but that's a dopamine hook. That is not something that is a reason you should make someone bumped up in a tier 1 in your life. You got to start putting people in tiers, babe. All of us have to do this. We have to get away from just thinking, well, he's mine. Yes, that's it. Like, you sure? You making a decision on somebody you don't even know for real everything yet. You might be into something for a couple of years and be like, yeah, he's it. And he's not. You know he's not. But you're just gonna say, this is it. Why? Because we want to make sure that our love life is in pristine condition. We really do. That's the main motivator. And then like the other thing that I said for women, I know women for a fact because I am one. We don't want to have to do all that thinking. We would like to get the brakes on that. And then men, you guys want to get the brakes on having to do the domestic stuff. And I get it. Listen, I know we do balance each other out, but we cannot lose sight on monotony. We can't. We have got to sit down and be honest with each other. But the first person you got to be honest with is you. Now, ladies, I know you ain't going to be ready for this one, but I'm going to be raw tonight. I got time today. I got time today. Ladies. Listen, I'm 50 plus, so I can speak from this perspective for us women that a lot of us, will be clutching our pearls at this point. Ladies, we have to start getting honest about our sexual needs. And I know that's a little bit against the grain. We don't really like to talk about it. We don't really want to own it, but we got to start sitting down with this. I'm serious. Like this is a major problem for us women. And we're not talking about it enough with each other. We're not talking enough about it with ourselves. We are making long-term love affair decisions, and we are not even in tune with what we sexually need as women. And yes, I'm saying it. We don't know what we need sexually as women. And it comes a point where we have to be honest, not with just the other person, but with self first. Sit yourself down and talk about what it is that you really truly need in that department. Please be honest with yourself. Please be candid. Please be open. Please be vulnerable. Not with your lover just yet, just with you. Sit down with you and talk about this stuff to you. Listen, I need it about this type of, I need this type of intimacy. I need this type of lover. I need this. I need that. Be honest and upfront, because the reason why I'm encouraging this is because the more open, upfront, and honest you are in your soul about your intimate self, you will come to terms with being able to express it to your lover, to who you're with. You will be able to explain, listen, uh, for me, this is what I need. And then he'll be able to, or if you're in a different type of relationship, whatever you got going on in the bedroom, not my business, I'm just saying, your lover will be able to say, okay, I can get with you on that, or can we work something out, or or I'm not a fit because I don't have it like that. Whatever it is, wouldn't you much rather have that understanding about you first in the beginning? Because if you're going into it blinded, you don't really know what to tell your lover, because you don't really tell yourself the truth. And see, a lot of times we won't say, as women, we won't say, I'm really kind of sexually hungry. I'm on E here. I need to get some. We don't say nothing. We don't bring it up. We don't say, hey, you know what? I think I have some needs here that need to be met. We just let the well run dry and don't say anything. And then we're moody. We have worse cramps. And if we're premenopausal, we get attitudes. We get very just discomfort. We get bloated. We don't know what's going on. We just, my daughter came in one day and, hey, mom. And I told her, look, Morgan, I got an attitude. She's like, hormonal? Mom? What is that about? I don't know, Morgan. I'm just irritated. She's looking at me like, what in the hell's wrong with my mother? And I'm like, no, but I mean, for me, I have to be candid with my daughter, because I don't like to hold back and tell her that it's always great, wonderful, and I'm in paradise. No, I have my days where I'm also aggravated, agitated, or sexually deprived, and I need a little something to come over here and bounce on me. And Morgan's just looking at me like, Mom, I don't have time for your shenanigans. I'm leaving. Goodbye. Click. She closes the door. She don't pay me no attention. But I'm open with it. Like, Morgan, at this point, you're grown. I can tell you some things about your mama. She just be like, Mom, I don't have time for your shenanigans. But listen, we have to be open to ourselves first to be able to tell our lovers what the truth is and what we need. And see, here's the thing, because I'm in a mood this evening. I don't know. I do energy body work, okay? And in energy body work, you learn a lot about the human body. Now, for me, I have, predominantly male clients, but I've noticed that when in doing a certain energy body work on men, I'm noticing that men are having some issues going on with erectile dysfunction. Now, I often say that erectile dysfunction can be from medicine. It could be from low circulation. It could be from you're not that in tune with your woman for real. It could be a lot of different things. And mind you, I worked for United Healthcare for over 20 something years. And I was the one that was getting the prescription appeal letters. And men just crying on their paperwork about how they're only allowed 3 to 5 pills a month. So these men are like, I just don't have an intimate life, and blah, 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 blah. And I'm like, okay, wow, this is a lot. Well, with me doing energy body work, I'm starting to realize that men are not in a good, they're not doing enough stretching in the groin area, which is blocking your rises, if you know what I'm saying, gents. You may want to start sitting in Indian position and really starting to push down on your legs so that you open the groin up. This is very subtle. You can do this by yourself. I mean, if you want a session, you can come see me, but But you men, you're not opening up your groin enough. And so because of that, it's blocking you from having a rise to your woman. You might not be suffering from ED. It may not be ED. It could be you have a blockage from not having the circulation going in properly around the groin area. And I actually helped to heal this to one of my clients. And he was like, wow, I said, you have to stretch. You have to really understand that it's a lot to this. You have to really reduce the pressure here, and you're not moving enough. So when you open up the groin, gentlemen, you have to really sit in Indian style and press on your knees, and just like, it's going to feel very awkward at first, but it's important, because not all gentlemen over 45, 50, or whatever, not all of you are erectile dysfunctioned. Some of you have some groin work that needs to be done. There's energy body work that I do, and that can help to heal that. Again, not just that, you may also be on medications that is hindering you from your rise. Again, men, you have got to learn that sometimes some of these different meds you're taking is really hindering you from having an intimate life. Now, don't feel guilty, because when you feel guilty, the rise really isn't going to happen, because now there's no rising, there's guilt, and now everything's suppressed. So now no rising, no sex, no nothing, and you're just both frustrated. Listen, I'm trying to help you out. Sit in Indian, rock back and forth, have your knees up and rock. Do that before bed, do it at lunchtime, and do it in the morning, because that will help you to open up your gates, sir. Okay? I'm helping you out. I told you I'm going to give you something tonight. If you stick with me, you're going to learn a lot this evening. I'm in the mood today. So, intimacy, we have to own, why are we so driven to want a relationship so bad? We're driven because we want that intimacy. We want that sex life on lock. We want to make sure we got a lover next to us. If not every night, we want one at least at night, right? You know me, I'm always clowning. But no, I'm serious. So we have to sit down and be honest with self. And in order to be honest with self, we can't be giving ourselves contradictions. And don't be guilty, women. I know, we have been taught from young, especially young brown girls, we've been taught, keep those panties up and dress down, since we've been, that would be the church. Pull that dress down. You got that dress up, hiked up over your butt. Pull it down. That's too. We've been taught to cut off that sexy, because we're not supposed to do all of that. My daughter, she's always, I know I'm talking about her a lot. She always says, Mom, what's all this swishing of the hips going on? I'm like, what do you mean? You got to keep it sexy at all times. She's like, I don't have time for this, Mom. But you have to keep it sexy. A lot of the times we're losing our flair. We're losing our excitement of life. And once we lose our excitement in life, we're losing our excitement in the bedroom. The man's like, I'm not getting nothing from you. You just seem like you're just doing this as an obligation. I want you to want to be here. So now, men, I'm helping y'all out. I know some of these women come in here like, go ahead and hurry up. I got to be to work in the morning. And then she jumps out the bed and goes to take the shower. And then she's like, we did it already. So don't come back over here. I know what's going on. I'm well aware of what these women are doing in the bedroom. And then they'll tell you, don't ask for nothing else. You got it for today. That's it. So men, I know your cry and what you got going on in the bedroom, but I'm here to tell you, you have to start being more sensible and honest with you in your sexual truth. What do you have going on with you? Are you honest about your needs to you? Or are you suppressing a lot of things? Because see, men, you also have guilt. Because ever since you were young, it has been taught that young men should not, all they want to do is, hop on every woman that wants to give it to them. And they got all these sexual escapades they went on and all that stuff. And they got nothing in the end, but just a lot of sexual activity and no one really caring about them. So now, men in your early, 40s, 30, late, mid 30s, 45, you guys are like, I just don't want all that. I'm now wanting to be cared about. Yeah, I get it. But first off, you got to know what your sexual truth is. Because again, yes, you're motivated to be cared for, but you also need to know what your needs are so that you are able to choose according to your needs and your understanding of your sexual self. Soul study, babe. Soul study. This is a part of that. I'm teaching you guys about how important it is to study your soul. It's not hard. It is just something you have to set aside time for. You have to start to sit down with you and ask yourself certain intricate questions. What is it really that I need in my soul? Am I really lacking? Do I feel like my soul is abandoned? I deal with this with my clients all the time. We go way back to when they first felt abandonment. Men, I'm going to talk to you a little bit tonight. You guys struggle with heartbreak to a different degree. It's beyond words. You guys really struggle with this, with the heartbreak part. And I'm here to tell you that usually men, if you don't catch a man within, and I say this all the time, if you don't catch a man after he got heartbroken within the 6-month period after his heart has been broken, it's very unlikely that he'll go and deep dive into another relationship. Unfortunately, because it really takes a toll on them. Now, for widows, you might have that, might be about 9 months, but even still, it takes a long time for men to really overcome the hurt of a love affair. And so, one of the things that I'm encouraging women and men to do is the soul studying, because when they study their soul and start loving on self and getting back to revival of the soul, they start realizing like, damn, I didn't know how much I let go of having joy again because of that one not winning. Well, let's think about this, gentlemen. Can we? Can I talk to you for a minute? You know, gentlemen, y'all love sports, right? And in sports, you got your seasons, right? And in your seasons, you got wins and you got losses. And no matter what, that season starts back up. You're there. You got your chicken wings, you got your beer, you got your jerseys on, you got your shoes, your brand new shoes. I know about y'all sports guys. You got your shoes, you got all your stuff ready because you want to be ready for the new season coming up. But why do you guys give up on love so hard that you don't never want to go back in the game? I don't understand. Because if anything, you guys should know how quick it is to recoup, get back into the game. And I'm saying that, yes, in all relationships, there will be wins and there will be losses, no matter what love affair you're in. I don't care if it's a situationship, friends with benefits, side chicks, bae, your girlfriend, your wife, whatever you got, your partner, whatever you got, LAT, however you doing it, you're going to have wins and losses, period. Doesn't matter. But you are much more forgiving in sports. You come back every season. Every season. Y'all don't miss a beat. I see you when I was door dashing, I'd go over to BW3s would be booming on sports nights. And I'm like, well, they don't give up, do they? They are really loving it. Yes. However, the problem is that you guys don't have that same gusto when you're talking about relationships. But why do you give up so easy? Think about it. Build up your stamina again. Go get that cologne. Go get your hair cut. Go get groomed up. Go get a new outfit. Go back into the game. There's no reason why you can't still get your gusto back, because it doesn't just stop because she left. It doesn't just stop because it didn't work out. This is now time to get a soul renewal and be more engulfed in wanting to love on you again. But first, you have to do the soul studying and start doing some, real question asking to yourself. Ask yourself about your soul needs. Ask yourself about your sexual needs. Ask yourself how you handle monotony. Those are 3 major ones right there, and you have a whole good 2-3 weeks to work on you. In the midst of doing that, go take yourself out and really get you something neat, get you something nice. Go to the barber, get your hair fixed up, get this groomed up. Do for you. There is no reason to get out the game just because that one said game over. Okay, well, doesn't mean life is over. It just means that particular game is over. It's done. It's completed. Okay. Doesn't mean you can't get back in the game. Listen, it's plenty of women out here that are in distraught. You don't even know what I see, hear, and have to listen to with these women out here, a mess, because you gentlemen won't get back in the game because you're not feeling okay about going ahead and doing it again. You're allowing fear to grip your opportunity to get back in the game and feel amazing again as a man. We as women can help that. It's a no-brainer. We are good at it. But you have to be in the game for the woman to help you, if you know what I mean. So, and gentlemen, if you do really need to figure out some things, I do have a book called She Left Anyways. So feel free to go on here. I'll put the link in if you guys want to get a book. $12.99. It's a book called She Left Anyways, but why? And that book will really help you. It will give you some clarity. It will help you to see, oh man, I missed some things. Because remember, what do I always say? As your coach, I help to build your awareness, open your mind up, change your perspective, not get so settled in one way of thinking. Because when you broaden your mind up, you end up broadening up your opportunities. We get so sucked into thinking one way, we can't get out of it. And we continue to have the same outcome, and it is just over freaking whelming, and it's tiresome, and then you just don't have the gusto to want to live anymore. Not like that. We'll do something for you. Change it up. You got this. All right, guys, like I said, I'm your coach. Feel free to share this video. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel, Carla Nicole channel. I had a great time tonight. I really did. I enjoyed it. I really had fun because I didn't even know this was the direction I was going in. But again, I'm often surprised by how we end up going to where we go. But one of the greatest things about this is that just like with anybody else, I've been doing this a long time. So there's days where I'm like, I don't know. I have my fears I have to overcome too, while I'm telling you I have my own stuff. But again, we cannot give up. We cannot stop. We cannot say it's enough is enough when it's not. We have to keep moving, keep grooving, keep knowing that we got this. We got this. Shalom, shalom. So like I said, we have to be able to find ourselves more okay in the understanding that we have needs, that we have things we need to get clear with self. And like I said, don't sit back and hold back. Be willing to question yourself. Get curious about you, because the more curious about you that you start to build, you'll start to realize that there's a lot about you you didn't even know. Start asking yourself some intricate questions you haven't even answered yet, because you are going to be more of a billboard to the next lover, because you'll no longer have to rely on them being your image. You'll know you now. So you won't be so surprised by the mirror looking back at you. Now you'll know exactly who that person is, because they'll match, and you'll know who you are. You'll even know even quicker when to lay off the gas or when to invite them in, and you match. You'll know better and quicker when you start to doing more soul studying and paying attention to understanding self. But first you gotta take time. You just that's not a step you can skip and then expect to get better results. You're going to keep having the same results if you don't change strategy. Life is a chess game, babe. You gotta change it up. You want something different? Do it different. All right, guys. I appreciate everybody that was here. Like I said, I'll keep doing these. This is SoulAllure Live with your coach, Carla Nicole. You guys have a great night.